This trash container is locked. The sliding lid, there's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but just a trash container. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock.
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence, too. We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. This trash container is locked. The slide force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending. Unsatisfying. Hurtful. You hear a ringing sound, but not quite hollow. The can seems to be full.
Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly...
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with it. There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box.
He does not actually think it's cool. If anything, the lieutenant feels sorry for the poor box. He's leaning in to inspect the layers of graffito that deface it. The lieutenant pats the box, ever so slightly.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it...
Thank you for clearing that up.
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why.
I thought as much. And are you the only part?
Well, yes.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
What do you need?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. Wait, what? But what about... Yes, the bird. I found it lying on the floor with a broken wing the morning she left. You broke the skewer!
I assure you it was...
Why on earth did you have to break the skewer? I can't believe it. I was so sure it was Sylvie. Even worse, I thought...
A tender type of hope. Something stirs in you.
All right. Did she say anything else? About me, you know? Did she say anything about me? Really? I should give her a call then. Thanks, I guess. Was there anything else you wanted, or...
see a heavy steel door with a prominent. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so yes.
This trash container is locked. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to... Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is. But you won't like it. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows. The methodology... No, searching for evidence in the trash. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something, as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the... Drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty, or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but... The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's one of...
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just...
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple, nothing. It's nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly...
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? What are you talking about? I don't know either. You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some have fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's a metaphor. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headline?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my
Maybe yours will have how many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicles have had lights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just...
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages, falling up. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But it's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the death. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. Inspect the interview the cafe. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful...
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM. Right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death, I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
You don't exactly close them. so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of paper. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41. Then, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene. Why, yes, your precinct. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. That is improbable. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out. According to type 3, the topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but they appear pleasantly vague. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if... The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each. Two ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum, a touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card, looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile. You think, Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. You feel the ledger slip from you.
There is nothing again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it because it's always there.
Yeah, man. What was that about? There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me, Stoop.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules.
Yes, they're poor.
Its glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it's...
What happened? That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out room...
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your head.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out...
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious... The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The raspberry gauge jumps, and the lights unfold with a little click. Cast...
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the...
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street...
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. There are many of them, and they are divided into three. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the board. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than the last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your
alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? No shame in working a regular job, detective. Sometimes after a long day of doing this next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock, there are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to... But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the glove.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. What do you think you are? A super detective? There are several footprints in the mud, maybe more than 12. No. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. One, standard work boot, steel re. 2, standard work boot. 3, hobnailed. 4, standard work boot. Number 45, or you don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart. 5, another standard work boot. 6, an aberration, light as air, even pace, impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. 7, the glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 8, and yet another standard work boot. Number 44.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? A woman or a kid? Understood. Anything else? 200? Could it be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up?
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What else can you see? Interesting. Let's name it someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner at the harbor.
He regrets it the moment he says it.
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not... Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was... Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. They all stood in... Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. In doubt, perhaps. It would be unprofessional of him to...
Either way. What else?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted because it's nice and orderly. Well-laid palette, rhythmic pattern. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this, then? A tool shed?
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it.
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the...
It's loving in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthhole!
Shits himself.
The rake! You should throw the rake at him!
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What?
Irregular speech patterns. Overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs? This warrants further investigation into...
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? And then what? You fucking there? You fucking...
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno!
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking...
Fuck your shit back to normal!
Well played. No one saw that coming.
It's a vitamin pig? Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a...
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you...
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno...
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you. Yeah, that conclusively explains.
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and...
course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just got a fly, pig. Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait to see you get...
Kuno can't wait to see you shit your...
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pan.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real. Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival. Coach physical instrument, they will also make you into an idiot.
Alright, Piggo, shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and... Yeah, the kingdom... The fuck? A mug in the trash. Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mugfucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug, Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig.
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
The fuck are you calling a third person?
He looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with that retort. But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's digging his...
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in air, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Look...
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopathic ghost with an...
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that... I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno's dad gets.
Relax. He can't read your mind. There's a dead body, remember. That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna You're nothing! You're a joke to Kuno! Kuno laughs at you!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can...
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions.
Click, 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 click!
Kuno's...
If they're
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming...
shit coming up strong, that sounds good. Joyous. I mean drugs. The
Yeah, Kuno!
Kuno's riding it.
The rate he should...
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno... Alright. Entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't... You found Kuno's secret door, and then what? You fucking...
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno!
Oh, that?
What?
Fuck you,
well played. No one saw that coming.
It's a vitamin.
You could use some.
Yeah,
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
You're not getting this, pig.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
That's what...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you don't...
He's saying you climbed up. Yeah, that conclusively.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah? The kingdom... Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. Listen, Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your side, pig, believe it.
These could coach, they will also make you into...
Alright, don't do... As you can see...
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Shitload, pig.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno! Fucking idiot Mulkapa! Doesn't know any questions!
Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno... Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno's Kuno...
It's always Kuno, never.
The fuck are you calling a...
He looks...
Watch out! Help!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's the...
Escalate!
Pigs in in, Kuno! Somebody...
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Fuck does Kuno care?
It's always Kuno. He looks...
Watch out! Help!
Help! Pigs in eating Kuno! Somebody...
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason. Thump. The blow connects surprisingly.
What?
Officer, this is very far from normal.
For heaven's sake, he thinks. This has gone too far. Don't make...
Okay, pig. Kuno knows to respect that violent shit. You should see Kuno...
The creature behind the fence has fallen ominously silent. Only...
Okay, pig. Talk to Kuno. We're back in this shit. The fuck do you want? Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your...
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your...
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on...
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your crime.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on you.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your...
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on you.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on you.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your...
Fuck does Kuno care?
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it.
Fuck you, whisper.
She puts extra stress onto that word. Expect...
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in...
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane.
Stop talking to him. Kuno, I'm fucking...
She understands what you're...
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell you? Kuno told you. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read his lips.
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of her crazy people. The fuck...
Sounds boreal, like something from the tundra and tiger-covered Cutler, Isola. Far, far away from here. As far as...
Surois? Like that man from Shelmdall shit? She could...
Revelshot does have a small Suroese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
Fuck no, she's not me sister. She's just a stray who got in. Like a man. Yeah, she was just there.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway. Dripping wet. By the fucking shoe rack. In the dark. Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home and she's sleeping under the desk. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there. Or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno. How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing just fine. Kuno's got this shit under control. Listen, listen. See, it's Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck with C.
This is what it all comes down to.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand? Alright, now we can do business. Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook...
Oh, don't hook him up with shit!
See? Relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. You respect the... Kuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Kuno. Get you hooked, pig. See, it's tension and release with Kuno. Now we releasing. The pan buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Kuno flexes for hobos. Kuno sees you're in need. Here, pig. We're falling now. Performance buddies. Kuno could already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt.
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
The fuck do you want with it? Course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made? Not for you, pig.
Kuno!
That's all there is to it then.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't Kuno...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through you. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More... You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the...
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the...
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow...
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Yes. Guess what's yours? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. What? Jealous of the sorry cop? They'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, that won't happen.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah, like a fucking volcano.
You were lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop him.
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno fire. That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Kuno doesn't fuck. doing okay? You're dreaming, pig.
A little.
Don't let him dominate you, Kuno. Fuck his fat ass.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there?
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie-Opagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the...
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, what was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of... Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno...
Hello again, officer. How are things? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Well, this might be the last snow we get. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point.
No, of course not. I don't... The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without or kipped. He's always... Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job?
You've been resting here for quite a while, haven't you?
Yes.
I understand. The RCM isn't welcome here.
There's silence. The smallest.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do. I think we're done here. Let's go.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye. The ammonia only makes it worse. There he still is, looking right to the ammonia. There he still is, looking. You crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a puzzle. What's hanging in front of you is a puzzle of decaying flesh, tattoos, and tendons. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decay, delicate and fragile. These are clearly not boots. They're armor. Possibly.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500VE, piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know. No, I think he had something precious underneath the clothes. They had to remove the jeans and shirt we found.
Nice. That makes sense.
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre.
Fucking
Clearly, Kuno would like to interject something here, but there's not enough for him to hold on to. A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the...
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look. The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
This feels dangerous. The stench fills your nostrils. As you...
Stop! Pig's gonna put...
Brutal!
You're going to pull it?
Do it, Homo!
Yes, that's what I said. You'll compromise the coroner's case.
Indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much more.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? How many clothes do you need? You already found a number. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off? But first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant... The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights. Should we continue?
The cadaver slow. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used...
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would...
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more... I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing...
No. You feel like it was something else. But what?
70% of the cases I get are just filling in the blanks on the initial report. This belt worries. A noose, I think the lasso...
Could be. The shape of the branch support... The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. Limbs limp. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, his corpse is marked by stars, alcohol, and heartbreak.
I have only a cursive knowledge of the science of cybernetics. I would not know if it were.
It doesn't seem familiar from the insides of any radio computer your mind can imagine. The somewhat organic lines remind you of...
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens.
A Trigger Sunshine.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of
Shit, Kuno!
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass.
In case we need it. It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
I'm gone. Into the wild, in the past. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer. Go ahead. What do you mean? It's the power of your... Go ahead. Ask me more. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you... Your lost Copodopo would have been so primo. Because coming right up, Rooney. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. You can be anything you want, brother, because you have loved it, me and brother Copo. It was love all along. Sure, Lobo. I can ask you, looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here.
Do I remind you of...
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Cop, please come back later, Corpo.
His eyes, dark brown. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression. Not carried on his features, but below, inside.
Why do you think so? There are no supernatural reasons.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance you. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use... Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have...
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think? Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the...
Of course. You have questioned. Maybe I was getting my rocks off. Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type? Captain Coppadromo? I feel it.
He didn't choke himself. You know it.
Come back later, Coppo.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought Chenko.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his...
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot...
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
I'll blow his head.
Take it!
Yeah, take the...
Silence. With his... and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 times, securing it. That's a Kiel A9090 armistice, mass-produced. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's test position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches.
He's gonna fucking...
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke.
God damn it.
He feels bad about it. About his eyes, mostly. Just having bad eyesight.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't...
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boinker! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your...
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming in the slow movement of the branch in the wind. And
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The ammonia the second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears. There he still is, looking at the emo. There he still is, looking at the emo. There he still is, looking. You crack open. It's a...
They do after 7 days.
The man before you is the material, delicate, and these are clearly not.
Indeed. Ceramic under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T piece by. We should keep a lookout for these species. No, I see.
Nice. That makes sense.
They...
Clearly Kuno would like to interject something here. But there's not enough for him to hold on to. A small
It's anything
faint, like whirls of floor. If trees were made, the whirls are in a
good. We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
This feels... the stench.
Stop, pigs!
Brutal!
You agree?
Do it, Homo!
Yes, that's...
Indeed.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you How many... There's no...
You're sure?
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fight.
The cadaver slowly. The hangman's knot is pulled tight. This is a...
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. A noose is... I think the last...
Could be. The shape of the branch supports...
I was afraid it would be. Thin steel... I'm still...
No. You feel...
70% of the cases I get are...
The cadaver hangs from an intricate... His corpse is marked. Alcohol?
I have...
It doesn't seem...
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled...
Triggered. An instant... I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound. A shrill flash. Followed by the breaking of a small...
In case we need it. It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, sure.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by. His dark underneath the curdled meat there is an expression. Not carried on his features, but below, inside.
Why do you think so? There are no supernatural reasons.
I'm gone. Maybe I was getting my rocks off. Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you, Cap?
He didn't choke himself. You know it.
In the past. What do you mean? It's you. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking lie. I'm a joke. A killer. Go ahead. Go because... Coming right up. Fuck no. Between you and me, you can be anything you want. Because you have. Sure. Looking at my face. Motion.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. A giant born.
You sure we got out of that one? Come back later, Corpo.
As you narrow, this is a trick. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue.
I see it.
The monster comes.
So, what do you think? Agreed. Especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet. Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if there...
But there is no breath to catch. Only the... The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin is marbled with...
Are you sure we finished the preliminary...
He doesn't...
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt with...
Yeah!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch.
Well...
Yeah.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
I'll blow...
Yeah.
Silence and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Securing it, that's a Kiel A9090. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast.
God damn it.
A lot of... He feels bad.
Kuno could have hit Kuno.
The lieutenant doesn't say...
I have to...
You know, you don't feel like too...
It's... Go ahead.
This is the...
Yeah, take it, you fucking...
The cold... The buckle.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your...
Your feet are slow.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
A plume... The man before you is naked, but...
Are you sure we finished?
He doesn't...
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance.
Yeah!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to...
Yeah.
They'll miss! The
I'll blow...
Yeah.
Silent and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 secure. That's it. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position. The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast.
God damn it.
He feels...
Kuno could have hit Kuno.
The lieutenant...
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
The man before you is naked.
Yes, we do. It's... Go...
This is the...
Yeah, take it, you...
The buckle.
Why don't you just shoot yourself?
Your feel is slow.
Look, or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with your hand numb from the recoil. You look at the body slump down, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
By being a damn good shot. Ace is high.
The ace is high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success. The The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation.
I knew these guys were
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. I would also suggest we interview Joyce, the Wild Pines representative. But we've already done that, so good for us. Yes. And those were the...
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack. You must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes? That's right.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings.
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57. Followed
And what would that make the...
HDB 41. 1111. It's meaningful. 1015. It's understated.
Good.
The lieutenant is quite surprised you managed to come up.
NA. Next, NA. Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, he nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as the pudgy mess of curdled meat. Looks neither.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant...
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by... is non-applicable.
HDB 41. 0803.1.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem. They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row. Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the elsewhere yet. An obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRI.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine. Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward, but...
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a microelectronical circuit. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove. Like thread, there must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are...
Fucking low velocity! You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? But talking shit about Kuno.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to...
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his... The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now. Like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop. Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant.
No!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for. Ever since the autopsy began.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant. Just write down that...
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a real museum here. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name? I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a... We should do this more often.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench... Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nerve?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of...
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury-related.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently.
Yeah, jack that!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there? We already have one test, as per regulation.
Pigs requested semen like it's...
I'm not even interested in these boring milk cuts anymore. I haven't sucked him off for anything.
Leave it NA, then. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hand. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. Has confessed to causing it at maxi...
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measured. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't. He is deep in thought. Eyes.
Why do you say that? Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal? Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the... We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we... We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking. You tilt your head. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more. The corpse seems to yawn contentedly.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination. It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You want...
Only if all else fails.
Kuno looks like he gets around. Knows Martinez. And its fridges too, probably.
This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become hard.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the... Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-isolated In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just the cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to Police Martin. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you...
So, he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary. It's all part of the master plan, you see.
No. Oh no, it's very imaginable. We fail to place responsibility for the hanging. The harbor company see the situation is out of control. Local law enforcement solving one little homicide decides nothing. Not solving it can have real and calculable effects. Things can always get worse. Matter of fact, augury, we should move. Yes, I'm an unrepentant spoilsport. Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it. Yes?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late, wearing piss-stained.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I am the finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought... So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Can I help you? Yes, for the dead body.
Correct him.
I don't care. You're not putting a dead body into my fridge. Because this is a culinary establishment.
It would only be...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No, the answer...
Let's go talk to the frit clerk. Yes? Yes? What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? Do you want 3 days ago, during a security, there's a, just, you mean like 3, during a security, there's, just to be clear, we are police officers. It's, no, the deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't, then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers union. Maybe more than.
Is this a strike then?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't you. Strike, coup, revolution.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
When I said we have to navigate community matters, I did not mean we have any say in them. I meant we should be careful. If we are not...
From an imaginary...
Now, was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good.
The man from Heimdall stares out at you from the cover. The story opened. By nightfall, only the man from Heimdall and his 9 Tyribald. It is physically and with deadly finesse. His twin blades scissor. A few chapters later, this book, The Northmen, the man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the... What do you mean? You skip past a set in the center as swiftly. The visitors toss in an instant, over. When the din of battle settles, only the man... What? In the first scene, the man from Heimdall, an excellent question. One easily answered by purchasing the next thrilling chapter in the Heimdallaman saga. Considering the sheer amount of different... The man from Heimdall stares at you on the cover. You know the story by heart at this point. Nothing new. You know the story by heart at this point. Nothing new or... The back blurb reads, below, in smaller font, a brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money. Their main concern. You know the story. You know the story.
Yes? Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 50s, they say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence.
Yes, but containers contain things.
I don't know. Containers...
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses, then. That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière. No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. It's like you're locked down.
Something the matter?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must... The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school, but this isn't an old school case.
I can't say that it does, no.
The lieutenant produces his small... That's where his conversations... We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject.
The worn map features the patch. The man from Hyund. You know the story by heart at this point. The back blurb below in a brazen attempt to bilk fans for more money by splicing. People find comfort in familiarity, remembering old experiences, looking at old. You know the story by heart at this point. The man from Hyundai stares out at you from the...
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? For the drinks, 30 real. Like what? I was rarely enjoying...
Yes? Yes? Excuse me? You have a...
A moment passes. The lieutenant... The man from Heomdall stares. You know the story by heart. You know the story. The back blurb read below. A brazen attempt to bilk Fan. Their main concern is the... You know the story by... You know the story by heart at this point. Nothing new or remarkable catches your eye. The man from Heomdall. The story opens. By nightfall, only the man from Heom. 9 Tiribald. It is physically impossible for a human, and with deadly finesse, His twin blades scissored the necromancer's head from its body. The undead legion, the man from Heimdall, the story opens. Immediately, by nightfall, only the 9 Tiribald. It is physically and with deadly finesse. The man from Heimdall, the story opened. By nightfall, only the man 9 Tiribald. It is physically and with deadly finesse. The man from Heimdall, the story opens. By nightfall, 9 Tiribald. It is physically and with deadly finesse. The man from Heimdall, the story opened. By nightfall, only the man 9 Tiribald. It is physical and with deadly finesse. The man from the back blurb below. A brazen attempt to build them. The back below. A brazen attempt to build their main. The story open. By nightfall. Only 9 Tiribald. It is physical and with deadly finesse. The man from here. The story. By nightfall. Only 9 Tiribald. It is physical and with deadly finesse. The man. The back blurb below. A brazen attempt to build their main. The story opens. Immediate. By nightfall, only the man from Eon. 9. It is physical and with deadly finesse. The man from Heimdall.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the...
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is...
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the man. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important...
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleagues seem... I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. We can...
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's...
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had...
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travel. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump a mess?
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer.
Thank you. Here's the 30 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The windfall is a small...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Can I help you? Yes, have you... Well? Great, thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss...
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic.
Where shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easy. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough. Then you shot the body down, which was quite a shot. I admit I wasn't sure whether I should give you the gun, but I'm glad I did. Your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things. I still feel like we're missing something, but we performed a thorough search of the premises of the...
He's right. You could smell it. That's something.
Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean... I'm glad we can agree on that. We weren't able to find the union leader, Evrard Clare, much less we talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
Thank you for the compliment. We could manage it even in wooden clogs. There are uncanny running reservoirs in this.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over mine.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of... Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit.
Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real. Yes, although indirectly. As citizens can always... Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play... We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is the coalition government. And the RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralintern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernment. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they're... Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion,
Something kind, something ominous.
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The Moralintern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist.
That's another leitmotif.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me. Do you? No, we are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization, protecting the people of Revachol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly, like luminous. This soldier is the highlight of the...
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of... You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke. Or 1 stroke? Don't be so modest. He's having one right now. Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier.